Hi everyone. Today we're diving into parenting with purpose. And I hope you've been rating yourselves and doing the work and trying the tips and just seeing where you're at, seeing if it makes a difference. Keep trying, don't give up. And if you need help with any of the stuff I've covered so far, don't worry because I'm going to go deeper on Father's Day, and you can click on the Help Me Vicky link just to find out more details or reach out if you're struggling at all with any of this stuff. But I want to dive into parenting with purpose because it's really about what do you want your children and your loved ones to remember about you when you're gone. You know, we're not here forever. And so beyond the day-to-day, we want to make sure that we are instilling the values that matter most and that they can carry that with them in their lives. So think of your parenting like a book, and there's lots of chapters, but you want at the end of the day to have a really good ending and a lot of lessons learned and passed on. And it's not about just the to-do lists and the check boxes and the full calendar. It's about being with them and passing on those things that you just want instilled with them because it resonates from your heart with love and kindness. And thinking of those things like honesty, how they show up for others, those things that matter. Sarah gave me a really tough example that, I'm glad she told me and I'm glad I recognized. Because when she was young, she overheard me talking to Kyle about marks in school. And I didn't even realize that she was listening and integrating this conversation that her brother and I were having. And it wasn't even about the marks, it was about something else. But because of her age and for what she heard and the tone that I used, and I came across as angry and upset, she internalized all that for a very long time. And she had a lot of anxiety about school marks. And in the end, it had nothing to do with that. That wasn't my intention. I had no idea. And then I had a big conversation with her about what my conversation with Kyle was really about and what the value was that I was trying to instill in him. And it was in that moment, you just don't realize how your words matter and the meaning matters. So I have a little framework. It's just the 3 P's for parenting with purpose. And the first one is presence. And I can't stress this enough. How do you show up when you walk through the door or when they walk through the door? Are you happy to see them? Are you, oh, hi, honey, how was your day? Or, oh, how come you're 5 minutes late? And do you have your homework done yet? And pick up your sneakers, whatever it is. What is the first energy vibration that they are receiving from you? And think about how you're going to open them up or you're going to shut them down. And the second P is priorities. We are all busy. We all have schedules that are jam-packed. And it's not about being perfect, parents. It's not about being perfect. It's about prioritizing what matters and taking those little moments and making them know that they're valued and that their time matters and that you're teaching them more than working 12-hour days, that you prioritize fun and excitement and vacations with them, and you're not teaching them that work above all else, that you come last. No, that's not a legacy that you want to leave your kids. And if you're in that spot, then you need some guidance to flip that switch, because that's a regret that you'll have at the end of the day. And the third P is participation. You have to include your children in the discussion and encourage them and lift them up and get them to critically think on their own. You can't provide them all the answers. You need to have them come up with them. And so instead of being, do this because I say so, why don't you ask, why is this important to you? How can we make this work? And help them see the benefit, teach them, grow with them, be an example for them to think a different way. Explain yourself, explain why it's important for them to do this from your perspective, your honest perspective, because if it matters that much to you, you better be explaining it, not just yelling at them to do something without them understanding why. And listen, we've all been there. I've been there many, many, many times. And it's just about catching yourself and saying, no, take the breath. How can I show up for my kids? How can I put a smile on my face and say, I love you. How was your day? And let's talk and let's hug and let's see each other, and teach them that presence with people is far more important than scrolling on a phone. And again, it takes time, it takes tips, it takes tools. But start with the 3 Ps. Start with writing down 3 values that you want to instill with your children. And I challenge you to show up that way. Show up that way for them every day. And see how it changes. See how their eyes twinkle a little bit more because they feel seen and heard and acknowledged and part of something. So give it a go. And if you want to know more about my Father's Day launch, that we're going deep into this and giving you some amazing tips and tricks to help you with the struggles, please fill out the Help Me Vicky form. And it's a safe place just to see where you're at and where you're struggling, because you're not meant to do this alone. And there's so many ways that we can show up and parent with purpose. Do the work. Let me know. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.